Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Jake Break. It is officially January 18th. The night of January 18th, we're recording here, finishing up the NFL playoffs this weekend here, but anxiously awaiting for the big game tomorrow, Trent. The big college football playoff coming to a head. Championship game, Indiana and Miami. Played in Miami. I don't know, but welcome to another week of the Jake Break. Trent, how we doing this week?
We're doing good. It's like my Jordan flu game. I don't have the flu, but I feel like crap. So we're still here. But I feel like something's about to take my body over, but we're not quite there. It's just, did anyone get that feeling, when you're about to get sick? Like you have that day when you're like lightheaded and you just feel kind of, it's like an out-of-body experience. Like you just don't feel like you're in your body kind of deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm feeling today. My wife was gracious enough to let me take a big old power nap this afternoon. Felt better after that, but still don't feel 100%. I have like kind of a sore. Last night I had a really sore throat. Today it's kind of gone, but yeah, I hate being sick, man. But I know every winter, especially since she's a school teacher, she just like works in like a cesspool of germs. Like, essentially, that's what an elementary school is. It's just a factory for the newest COVID-19. So, yeah, we're getting through it.
Well, hey, she's building a heck of an immune system, but unfortunately, she's bringing it home to you then, it sounds like.
Yeah, and she claims that she doesn't bring it home to me, but I tell her otherwise, because her immune system is built like a brick house, and mine is not, because I'm just outside all the time. And I'm not interacting with anybody, so I don't get introduced to germs, like
Nice.
a lot of germs. But she is just like in it all day, every day. So yeah, but we're here for another week. What you said, 33 this week, which is
episode 33.
just insane. But yeah, should be a good one. And for those of you that, I know we have a few listeners that aren't like big sports fans. It's almost done, I promise. The season is almost done, and you'll have several months of no sports, so you can look forward to that.
Yeah, we got some exciting guests planned for the coming months when that time period happens. We want to make sure that we captured an audience that, we're obviously big sports fans. It's an exciting time in football, for college, NFL, the past couple months. So we want to make sure we capture that, but when we do bring on guests, we want to make sure we give them plenty of time to tell their story and learn more about them and, just hear what's going on in their world. So, but talking about, sickness, these games this weekend have been nothing but sick. I mean, just awesome. But I think the ultimate nightcap, or not really the nightcap, I guess the weekend cap, is the game tomorrow, the college football playoff. We've been talking college football for several weeks in a row now. Do you think this matchup is going to live up to the hype? What's your thoughts on it here going into Monday night, Trent?
I think, how do I want to? I think if Miami brings the same intensity on defense and Carson Beck can play like he has the past two games, it is going to be like a 35-34 game. I feel like it's going to be a decent scoring game, but I think it's going to be a nail-biter. I do. I think there's going to be a lot of lead swaps back and forth, but I think the key to whoever's going to win tomorrow night is whoever wins the turnover battle. I think it's going to come down to time of possession and how much time you have the ball in your hand, and if you can not turn the ball over, it's really going to help you out. So, I mean, that's very generic to say for any game that's super important, but in a game, the saying is defense wins national championships. So I think that whoever can limit their turnovers is going to have a great shot at winning that thing tomorrow night.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, on paper, who you going all in on in this game?
I'm going Cinderella story, Indiana.
I love it.
And I should say I feel slightly confident. I'm not a betting man, but like this game is one that's, I think it's a toss-up. I do. I'm not super confident that Indiana's going to walk away with it. I think they're going to win, but more so, I hope they win. Just the story that Kurt Cignetti has created in that football program is nothing short of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And to see a Big Ten team win, other than Ohio State, of course, is awesome. So I really hope that they can pull it out.
Well, and I agree with you. I think Indiana is gonna win it. I think it's gonna be a tight one. But just how dominant Indiana has been the last few weeks of the regular season, but then also in the playoffs here is just unbelievable in my opinion. Like, honestly, this may be, especially if they cap it off tomorrow night, or Monday night, since I guess this will come out Monday. Especially if they can cap off this tremendous season with a national championship, I think that they go down in the history books as one of the best college football teams of all time, without a doubt. I mean, they're not an LSU team like with Joe Burrow and the receiving and running backs and just the offense and defensive prowess that team had. Like, they're not throwing up big numbers, but they don't make mistakes. They play good, clean football. They don't make big plays on defense. Like, they don't give up big plays, I should say. And offensively, they just win. Like Kurt Cignetti says, Google him. They will win. He wins.
Yeah.
So I'm going all in on them tonight here. I think they're going to win.
But yeah, the one thing I saw, because this whole week has just been filled with press conferences and whatnot, and there was a reporter that asked Carson Beck if he attended a class the day prior, if so, what class it was, and he laughed, and then he was like, I graduated 2 years ago, so he didn't come out and say, I don't have any classes, but he essentially said, I don't have any classes, and I think that's where NIL has taken college football. And I think part of the integrity of the game is being a student athlete.
Yeah.
And even if you're like Carson Beck and some of these players that have been in college for 8 years, I don't know. I think you have to be full-time, take 12 credits, work on your master's, work on an associate degree, work on another undergrad degree, work on another minor. Do something, right? I don't think that you should be allowed to play college football if you're not a full-time student. Yeah. That's just my point of view.
And I think I sort of found it to be funny because usually whenever this controversy comes up, the students are just like, no, I'm still doing this X, Y, and Z class, or doing this classwork, or doing this research, or whatever. And he was just like, no, I haven't taken classes or gone to a class in 2 years. And several years ago, in college basketball, there was this big scandal. UNC had it, and I'm a big UNC fan. Other colleges had it in basketball because of these phony classes or whatever. But at least they were going to a class. You know what I mean? Like, they had a class on the schedule.
Yeah, I think it's bad for the sport. I really do. Yeah. Because you have people that are there just to collect a bag and play football and improve draft stock, and then they sit at home and not have any classes, while you have other people that are busting their butts trying to keep stay on the dean's list and then still play football and have a life outside of that with friends and family. Mm-hmm. And I think not everyone has the same view as me on that, but I just think it builds character when you have to balance a workload on top of football.
Right.
So I really think there should be a change in that somewhere, that if you are on a roster for college sports, you have to be considered full-time. Mm-hmm. Because you said, when you golfed, you had to be full-time, right? For D3?
Yeah, for D3, we had to take a minimum of 12 credits. And in Carson Beck's case, I'm sure some other players' case, I don't know, the whole graduate school system, I just don't understand, because he's technically a grad student now, and obviously I didn't get my master's or go to grad school or anything like that, so I can't speak to it. But during that time, I still agree with you. I'm sure there's probably a minimum amount of credits they have to take for that, and I'm sure they can justify it on paper. But it's really, what's that schooling kind of look like? But I'm not familiar with that system, so I don't know. I have no clue.
It depends on what type of grad student he is and what he's taking, because some grad programs are same thing like undergrad, right? You have classes with credits. If you do like a thesis, you essentially just have one project
Oh,
that you can
okay.
that you work on for 2-3 years, whatever it is, and then you write your paper at the end about your thesis.
Okay.
But just the way that he answered that question, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he was asked that, he should have been like, I'm a grad student. I've been working on my thesis for the past 2 years. It should be done here in May. Something, right? The way just his body language and the way that he reacted was like, school? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He may be a grad student, but is he like gonna finish his graduate program? Like, he could be a grad student and hasn't done a single thing, because a lot of grad students, like, if you're doing a thesis, you check in with your advisor whenever you need help, but it's just free range.
Right.
If you have questions, you go to your advisor, but if not, they will talk to you when you hand that paper in, and that's how a lot of these programs work. But just the way that he reacted was like, yeah, right.
He's not doing a dang thing.
No, not a single one.
But, no, it's crazy. But the funny thing about some of these Indiana players is there's people playing in the NFL playoffs right now that are younger than some of those guys on that roster. So I don't know if that has any play into it or not, but I don't know. All in all, I think this is going to be a great college football championship. I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in any direction. I think it's going to be a close game, especially if Miami's defense still comes to play. Carson Beck has a decent game, manages the game well. I kind of reverse jinxed. I think Miami early in the college football playoffs, I said Carson Beck will not win them a game. Their defense will. What's he do? He just goes out and balls out 2 games. So I'm not going to say anything about either team right now.
It's probably a good look, because you know as well as I do in college football, anything can happen. Like,
Right.
Indiana could go out and win 72-5, or they could lose, 7-50. So like, anything can happen. But I think I saw like too that the parking passes for parking at the stadium were like $700 for a car.
$700.
For a parking pass. Yeah, let me just do a quick Google search.
Well, and the other crazy thing about this game is too, and it makes sense as far as the numbers goes, but it's literally like home territory. I know we discussed this last week. This is home territory for Miami, but they're considered the visitor. But you can't tell me they're going to have some kind of home field advantage there with how close. I mean, it's literally in Miami where they're playing the game. I mean, that's got to have some kind of factor into it.
Yeah, parking for the national championship currently costs $747 if you're parking right at the stadium.
Oh my goodness!
But if you park on the other side of the road and have to walk through a tunnel, it's like $350 on that side. So like most people are just gonna be Ubering. But can you imagine spending $750 to park your car at a stadium?
Oh
I think going to like the farm show or the outdoor show and having to pay like $25 to park.
Yeah.
I think that's outrageous. That hurts my heart to pay that much. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane. But $750, I would walk 500 miles before I would pay $750 to park my vehicle in a parking lot.
I would have started hiking from Pennsylvania last week if I would have known that was the case. I mean,
Like,
that's crazy.
The parking lot better be made out of pure gold, and you get to walk out with some of it. That is just bonkers. But it
Yeah.
tells you that, like, I guess parking's an issue, right? But, like, for Miami football games, like Dolphins football games, what do they do?
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine.
Just absolutely insane. I guess they're just playing on everyone Ubering to the stadium.
Well, and who knows? The Miami Dolphins games probably didn't sell out too much this year.
Yeah, they had a rough one.
But I'll tell you some teams that aren't having a rough time, though, are the ones in the NFL playoffs right now, other than the Broncos. Right? So we talked about this earlier before we got on the podcast here, this episode. The Broncos and Bills game, I think we got to talk about first. Arguably probably the best game of the playoffs here so far. And then the icing on the cake is Bo Nix is injured for the AFC Championship. It's just crazy.
Yeah. When I saw him walking off the field after he needed for the field goal, set up the field goal, when I saw him walking off the field, I said something to my wife. I was like, that's either baller or that's strange. Like, he just walked off with, like, kind of like this. He didn't jog off. He just kind of walked off like either I'm him or I'm hurting.
Yeah.
It was one of the two. But he didn't really have a limp, so I thought it was more like an I'm him kind of guy.
Right.
And then that news broke a couple hours after the game, and Sean Payton was just like, "Yeah, just thought everyone should know that this is what's happening." I'm like, that is absurd. And like I told Jake earlier today, if I was Josh Allen and the Bills, I'd be even more upset now, right?
Yeah.
Because even though they lost, like the Bills lost, I think without Bo Nix, the Bills have a better chance in the AFC Championship than the Broncos now.
Honestly, yeah.
Because it's what Stidham or Stidham.
Yeah, Jared Stidham. And I'll be honest with you, he's not a bad player. And Sean Payton, his history with backup quarterbacks is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal. But the last time he played, I'm sure you saw this, but he passed for like over 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he was playing for the Raiders, which the Raiders haven't been relevant for years since, I mean, the one wondrous year with Derek Carr. So,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if he'll be a Nick Foles, because Nick Foles played a couple of the regular season games before they got into the playoffs. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous for the Broncos right now.
At least he has a week to get his mental state right.
Right.
Because it's better than getting injured the day or two before and only having 2 days to prepare as a starter. I mean, that's the mentality of a backup, right? You prepare as a starter, but for him to be on the bench for the past how many years and then have to come in the AFC Championship game to throw his first pass in, since when, just has to be an overwhelming, and right, just the connection. Bo Nix and his receiving core, his offensive line, his running backs, they've been on the same wavelength all season, the last 2 seasons. And now you throw in the backup, that chemistry just isn't there, and a week is not enough time to make up for that. So it'll be something. But talk about, I said a couple of episodes ago that Josh Allen has a good chance this year because his kryptonite, Patrick Mahomes, is not in the playoffs.
Right.
But I think I told you last night, maybe Josh Allen's kryptonite wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Maybe it's just the playoffs.
I'm starting to think so. And I don't even know if it's him specifically, because I'll be honest with you, this is probably the worst team he's taken to the playoffs, without a doubt. I mean, he literally carried that team and willed this team to the playoffs. But I'm starting to think maybe it is. I don't know if you get rid of Sean McDermott, but he's been successful. I don't know what you do in Buffalo. As a fan, if I was a Buffalo Bills fan, I don't know what you do going forward, because something's got to change to get over the hump.
I think it's a little bit with the defense, but there at the end of the game, he had, I think, 2 passes that he missed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He missed, if he would have hit those passes, the one would have been a touchdown. But yeah, when I make the comment of the kryptonite is the playoffs, I don't think it's Josh Allen. Let me make that clear. I don't think he's the issue. He is a franchise quarterback that will win a Super Bowl, most likely a couple Super Bowls in his career. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. His time will come. But I think they need to get a couple other guys around him to make that happen, whether they beef up the defense a little bit. But yeah, there were just a few key plays at the end of the game there where it was make or break.
Yeah.
But I think we have to talk about the ruled interception.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. So I watched it a little bit last night, too. Watched some other angles, some other replays. Watched ESPN this morning a little bit on it. And the commentators on ESPN brought up a great point here this morning. No matter what, so in my opinion, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I'm 50-50, like you and I discussed. At first I was leaning, that is a catch. He caught it, controlled it, went to the ground. In that process, he got it pulled away from him. But as you watch it more and more, I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm still leaning towards, hey, you got to give that advantage to the offensive player a little bit. But in that moment, in that game, I do agree with the ESPN commentators, and you got to take more time and look at that play.
Exactly.
You got to look at that play.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going anywhere. This is a crucial game. Whoever wins this is going to the AFC Championship. There is no reason why you don't take some more time, look at this play, and make sure you have it right. Get the higher-ups to look at this, get another set of eyes, get all the angles in on it, say this is, we're staying by this call.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't blow the whistle and have a 5-minute review of that play. That is such a pivotal play in that game because most likely, however it's rolled, that's who's going to win the game.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
If that's a catch, Prater goes down and kicks a game-winning field goal. And I think that's what Sean McDermott said after the game in his interview. He was like, I'm not going to, commentate too much on like the officiating, but you have to take more time to look at that. That is such a key play. It's not just a week 2 game, right? This is the game that's going to send the winner to the AFC Championship. And there's times where you take 5 minutes to review targeting and other plays that, why is that need reviewed? You can clearly see in 2 seconds. But they didn't. And like I talked this morning, I'm 50-50. I'm not saying either way. It was a catch, it was an interception. Because like I told Jake last night, I think I said, if the receiver literally a quarter to a half a second longer before that ball wiggled, it would have been a catch. It was just so close. But so again, what people have to factor in, so say even they do review it, if they call an interception on the field, there has to be very, very clear evidence to overturn that call.
Right.
If they call it a catch by the Bills and they review it, there has to be clear, super clear evidence to overturn that to an interception. So whatever way they call it on the field already has the advantage. You know what I mean? If it's a 50-50. So however they call it on the field, there has to be, I forget what they say. There's a saying, a clear and, I don't know, overwhelming evidence to overturn it. So, however, and that's why they're kind of, referees are always taught, if it's an interception, just let it play out, right? Like if they weren't sure, just let it play out and they can return it, because if they call it no interception, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's tough. I don't really know what to say about that one.
Yeah, and you got to feel for the Bills fans. I mean, literally Josh Allen willed them into the playoffs. They still looked like they were a contender. I mean, their defense had some holes in it. Their offensive line wasn't amazing. They weren't running the ball great last night. But, I mean, it's just every season they're having some kind of heartbreak. I mean, me as a Cowboys fan, I know we're not going to make the playoffs, and if we do, we're going to lose first round. So I'm not heartbroken by this every single year. But the Bills fans have hope every year when they get to the playoffs. This could be our year, and it just hasn't happened. So that's why I think, I don't know, I would be surprised if nothing changes in the offseason at the Bills.
Yeah, and even like you said, I agree this hasn't been the best team that they've brought to the playoffs, but I still think that Bills team had the chance to win a Super Bowl this year.
Right.
I think that team could have hung with any team in the NFL right now. But Bo Nix balled out at the right time. Some of those passes were just immaculate. It happens every year that you have a guy that just shows up he was right place, right time, and just changes the tide of that game.
Yeah. And I think Sean Payton just loves Bo Nix as well. I think there's a great relationship there. I'm not saying it's Drew Brees, Sean Payton-esque, but it's getting darn close. These guys are on the same wavelength all the time. And,
the Broncos didn't stop putting their foot to the gas.
Yeah.
In OT, they're taking shots, right? Pass interferences, that defensive back for their safety for the Bills, when he spiked his helmet and got a unsportsmanlike conduct there at the end, that just got to be even closer to field goal range. That football that the Broncos were playing was to win.
Yeah.
They could have easily, ran the ball, and then had a 45, 50-yarder to win the game. But they continued to put the gas to the pedal, or the pedal to the metal, and just throw some bombs, and it worked out in their favor. So, but yeah, that game was immaculate.
Yeah, and another one, the score doesn't show it, but last night's game with the Seahawks and 49ers, the Seahawks are a dangerous team. I said that before the playoffs, but they are so good on both sides of the ball, it's not even fun. Now, I get it. People are going to make the excuse the 49ers had lots of injuries. I get it. They still made it to the playoffs and still made it to this point. That's all you can say. They're still there. But the Seahawks are just so good. I don't know who can beat them at this point in time. On the NFC game, we'll see tonight who walks out of that and then faces the Seahawks. But I don't know, with the state of the Broncos right now, and what they're going to potentially see in the Super Bowl. I don't know. My pick is the Seahawks right now. I just don't see a team that's beating them.
Yeah, I think the only team that has a chance would be the Patriots.
Yeah.
Because I think the scariest thing about the Seahawks is their defense. They are phenomenal. They are a team that can put points on the board. But then when you got Jackson, you have JSN that can just pull the ball down from any which direction. Just complete weapons on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
But I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the 49ers somehow didn't weasel their way through that game, because that would have been just a heartbreak.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And I hate to say it, that I think the Eagles would have gave the Seahawks a better run for their money, over the Niners, but I still don't think the Eagles would have beat that Seahawks team last night.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they would have gave a better effort, mainly due to less injuries. They were a healthier team.
Yeah.
But that Seahawks team that came out last night, that is a championship caliber team.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, I mean, unless we see something amazing from the Broncos, because the Broncos, the defense is going to win them that game. I mean, the offense is good. Don't get me wrong; they have weapons, but the defense is going to win them that game. And we could have said the same thing about the Texans today. I mean, the defense was going to win them that game, and we saw the offense, for lack of better terms, lose them that game today. Yeah. I mean, the offense for the Texans was horrendous. It couldn't get any worse. And then they looked bad last week, but the defense willed them away to win. And then this week, they couldn't get out of their own tracks.
I swear, every time I looked at the TV, because I was sporadically doing stuff like chores around the house, every time I looked at the TV or just heard it in the background was another interception. Every time.
Yeah.
They just couldn't. And then the one time there near the end when Drake May fumbled, but that guy essentially fell right on top of it and muffed it, and then the Patriots got the ball back. So even when the ball literally fell in the Texans' laps, they couldn't come up with it. So yeah, I mean, and I think what Vrabel's done with the Patriots this year, the one stat the last 2 years, the Patriots were 3-14 the last 2 years under Belichick, and then what's his name?
He was a former guy attached to Belichick.
Yeah,
I forget what his name. He was there for a year, and then they got rid of him.
Yeah. Anyhow, he was 3-14. Now Vrabel coming into this game today was 14-13 or 14-3. So completely flip flopped it.
Yeah.
So to do that in 1 year is incredible. So I'm happy to see them, because back in the day I was like, oh gosh, here we go, Patriots again. Blah 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 blah. Made me so mad, but I love seeing them.
Well, and I don't know, it's hard not to like. I like Vrabel. He's a player's coach. He's a guy that'll get you fired up and he'll fight for you. But I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a May family fan, because Luke May is a Carolina legend, and then his brother Drake May is now balling out, also a Carolina legend. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I also kind of like Drake May. And then also with his wife with the Bakemas videos and her cooking videos, I'm not going to lie, I'm a sucker for them too. I enjoy watching them. I haven't tried a lot of the recipes yet, but I enjoy watching them.
Yeah, and I think I like about Drake May too is he's a very humble, quiet,
right.
quiet guy. He's not, you don't see him blasted everywhere. He's just kind of in the background essentially, but he just finds a way to have a heck of a season. It's what him and Stafford.
Yeah, all indications are showing him and Stafford in the MVP conversation. I don't know. I don't see a world where Stafford doesn't win it, even though May, I think, maybe has had a little bit more of an impactful season, with how they've turned that program around. But I don't know. We'll see.
If they solely rely on stats, Stafford has it locked up.
Yeah.
Record-wise, May has it locked up because he has a much better record. But at the end of the day, the record is reflected on both sides, all three phases of the ball, where it's tough because when you say MVP, everyone has a different way they look at it. Me personally, most of the times MVPs come from a team that are either in the Super Bowl or about to make the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, an MVP could be someone who they finished last in the NFL. It is the most valuable player to that team.
Yeah. Yep.
You can have a star quarterback that they lost every game, but they balled out and gave their team the best chance to win every single week. So, I agree. I think Stafford's also going to lock it up, which it's nice to actually see two new guys in the race this year for MVP.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't know. We're at halftime now. The Patriots Rams game. So, yeah. Sorry, Patriots Rams. That's terrible. I was just looking here. I was like, that is not right. That's AFC NFC. Yeah, we're at halftime of the Rams Bears, and I will not cut that out because I don't want to have to go back and edit that out. That's bad. That's on me there. I knew as soon as I said that's why there was that little bit of a pause. I was like, that's not right. That's not right.
Your brain half laughed. I was like, okay.
Oh, that's bad. But over the weekend though, we've had some crazy sports. I mean, I think we got to touch real quickly on Penn State wrestling once again looking dominant against number 4 Iowa. I mean, from 125 the whole way up to heavyweight, I don't see a team that's beating this Penn State team this year. I really don't. I mean, there's not a whole lot of weaknesses in this roster. I mean, we've talked about the struggles at 141. I still think, they have probably a top 5 guy, top 10 guy at Nationals in there. But as a team, I just don't see a team out there that's going to do it. I mean, you had said about one other team that potentially might give them a run for their money, but I don't know. What do you think about it over the weekend?
I mean, I saw a lot of posts before Friday night saying, Iowa's going to give Penn State a run for their money, that most likely their streak, consecutive wins, duels is going to get reset tonight, blah, 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 blah. Iowa got spanked.
Yeah.
Just ragdolled.
I think this was their largest margin of victory at Iowa.
Yeah. And for those of you who aren't like big wrestling fans, one of Iowa's had the number 1 ranked guy at their weight class in the country, and Rocco for Penn State, he ranked 4 or 5.
I think he's 4th.
Yeah, I think he was 4. He took down the number 1 guy. So all around, and then we had another upset at heavyweight. Marisola won, but just a very strong showing. But like you said, unless everyone on the Penn State roster, literally I'm not just talking starters, I'm talking everyone. Everyone has to get the flu so bad they can barely walk. That's the only way they're going to lose a duel this year.
Yeah. And it's getting to the point now where it's kind of funny as a Penn State fan. I see all the comments on posts and stuff where people are like, "Oh, this is wrestling's not even fun to watch." If you don't even, I get it. We're biased. We're Penn State wrestling fans. But if you're not a wrestling fan and you despise watching Penn State wrestling, there's something wrong with you. I mean, they are just offensively minded every single match, every minute of the match. I mean, we heard, the Iowa staff and the team, the brands talking about that after the match. It was just like, hey, we weren't on the offensive side of the match from the start. I mean, if you watched the last 30 seconds of the majority of our matches, we were going at it. But it's just like Penn State is just suffocating right from the first whistle. I mean, it's just unlike any other team out there.
And the one thing that I picked up on that I love to see, when there was a whistle, whether it was a reset, Penn State was always the first back to the line.
Yeah.
I think that's I don't know if it's a spoken rule, unspoken rule that Cale has for the team, but they are running. It doesn't matter how winded they are. It can be the end of the third period. They are running back to the center line, whereas your opponent is dragging to get back in there, and they're on their hands are on their knees and they're breathing heavy, and they kind of slowly get up there, and the ref is like, "Come on, let's go," and the Penn State guy's already ready to rock. Determination. What Cale has done with his program is insane. And what I love to watch, Kale doesn't get fired up very often.
No.
If you see him in the corner view, like just sitting back there, he's sitting back here with his arms crossed, like this, just watching. And he may say something every like now and then, but not really. He's just sitting there, just letting his guys do his thing. And that just shows, like, I don't know. You pan to other coaches and they're screaming at their guy 24/7 of what to do, and he's like, my guy knows what's up.
Yeah, we're here to handle business. We're prepared. We're doing what we need to do and get it out.
And he's always there. He's always there. Like if they don't know if they want to be top, bottom, whatever, and the wrestler looks over, they're gonna help him out or whatever. But just the poise, and I don't know. It's something crazy, and I think this run's gonna continue for a long time.
Yeah, like you said, they are so deep, and they're young this year. They are young. I mean, other than a couple of guys being seniors, I mean, we've got plenty more years under the belt for a lot of these guys. And, like, we got some guys redshirting this year or just, injured this year that are either coming back or aren't coming back this year, like Josh Barr's making a resurgence here the last few weeks. Now he's coming back from injury. I just don't see a team that's beating this team. I really don't. And it's going to be many more years down the road that these guys are winning national champions, unless something crazy wild happens at another school. Yeah. It's just a lot of fun to watch. But one thing, I'll just touch on this briefly because I know we don't have a ton of hockey fans on here. One thing I'm not having fun watching is the Penguins going into shootouts or overtime, Trent. It is just making me want to pull my hair out every time. I would rather have us – well, actually, that's a lie. I wouldn't want to have us lose in regulation because then we don't get any points. But I'll just put this out here for folks that maybe are or aren't Penguins fans. We lost again in a shootout. We are 1-7 in shootouts this year, 4-11 with overtime and shootouts combined this year. If we don't make it to the playoffs this year, it will be because of that. It will be because of that. I mean, last year was the third period demise where we couldn't finish a game, couldn't hold a lead in the third period. This year, if we made an incredible comeback last game, but we just can't win in a shootout or overtime. It's awful. It's painful to watch. Like it just makes me cringe every time we're in that situation because I know 99% of the time we're going to lose. So if we don't make it to the playoffs, it will be because of that. I can guarantee it. So I don't know. We'll see. But I know tomorrow night with tomorrow night's game, Tuesday, I'm off tomorrow. Our company is off tomorrow with the federal holiday. But I'm going to stay up to watch this college football game, Trent, for the championship. Tuesday, I'm going to struggle. One, because it's a longer weekend, just getting back into the swing of things. Tuesday morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be tired because that college championship is going to be a late night. So I'm going to need a little extra boost. I don't know about you, Trent. I don't know if you're going to break out another Bang Energy or you're going to have some coffee too. But Tuesday morning, I'm probably going to need some coffee. And because of that, I'm going to need to dive into my 4Wellness a little bit. So if you haven't tried 4Wellness, more specifically the good stuff in your coffee to smooth out the taste, get rid of the jitters, the sweats, the shakes, make sure you use 4wellness.com. Use promo code JACOB, JACOB 80005. That's 8 3 zeros and a 5 to get $30 off your first order. If you don't like it, you're only paying a couple bucks for a decent sized order. So give it a try. Tell us what you think. If you don't like it, let me know as well, because I haven't met a person that doesn't like 4Wellness at all. Whether it's the coffee products, their hydration products, recovery products, you name it. They're good stuff. So that's my pitch.
But yeah, I'll definitely need something, man, because that game, there's a chance it may leak into the early hours of Tuesday morning. There's a chance.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, with that, and then a baby sleep schedule, I'm going to be dragging Tuesday. So, make sure you hop on this deal before it's gone.
Yeah, they're sticking with us. The folks at 4Wellness are sticking with us for this, but you don't know how long it's going to last, so jump on it now and often. But I know we've talked about this for several weeks in a row now, Trent, and I feel like this is something we've got to share real quickly before we get into our two most famous segments of the show, because it is going to upgrade the show. The YouTube capacity, some content we're putting out there. I'm excited, and I know you're excited to test these out now. We've officially finally got the microphones. We got the microphones. They are amazing. DJI microphones. I found out from you, Trent, and some other creators that I guess they are the top of the line when it comes to the microphones for this. And the ones we got are literally puny, like maybe the size of my eye. Like they're not that big, but man, they pack a punch. And it comes like this travel kit. I'm so excited. I know Trent's excited to bring them to the show and upgrade our content a little bit. You won't see any changes on the weekly podcast, but the videos we create, the content we bring to you on the YouTube, the Instagram, TikTok, the whole 9 yards is going to be different. And they work well, and we're fired up. So, had to bring that up.
Yeah, they're going to make videos where the short form, long form content go hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We're going to make some cool stuff for you guys.
And the only reason why we're doing that is because of the tremendous support you all have shown on the show so far, the growth you've shown us, and the appreciation you've shown us here the last month or two. We want to keep investing in the show, growing this program. So, real quick shout out. We just want to say thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for all you do for us as we continue to grow this program here. Make sure you tell your friends, family. We won't beg too much, but we will beg a little bit. Let's keep growing the show. Let's keep making things better for everyone out there that's a loyal fan of the show. So make sure if you don't like, follow, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for us. Gives us some feedback on how we're doing and how we can keep improving the show. So with that, back to the regular scheduled content trend. Let's jump into the most famous segments of the show. The ones I'm excited for this week. Let's jump right into the gas and brakes. Do you want to take the charge on this one here?
Yeah, man. I'm pumping the brakes again this week, and I am pumping the brakes on cutting dogs' nails.
Interesting.
It is like the world is ending. We've tried the grinder. We've tried the scissor style. She's never gotten cut too short that she's bled, so she's not like she's had a bad experience. Mm-hmm. She hates it. So the only way that we can do this effectively, my wife, we have a jar of peanut butter that has Ember's name on it. This is her jar of peanut butter. My wife grabs her hand and the jar of peanut butter in the other and sticks her whole hand down in the peanut butter jar, pulls it out, hand covered in peanut butter, and she sits there like this as the dog is lapping peanut butter off of her hand while I'm quickly trying to trim all, 20 of her nails before she, uncovers her hand full of peanut butter. Because before you know it, her hand's bare. It's the only way we can get it done. So my wife's a trooper. She gets lathered up with peanut butter so I can cut the nails. But, even when she's, lapping the peanut butter, I'm about to cut, and then she yanks her paw, and I'm like, do you want me to make you bleed everywhere? Just sit still. It doesn't hurt. I'm just trying to make it so every time you jump off the couch, it doesn't sound like we have a puma in the house. With your nails clicking everywhere.
This is so good to know. I never knew this, so it sounds like I got to be really careful if I'm craving some cream or some peanut butter at the Trent's house.
Yeah, if you come to the compound, Jake, and you wake up early and you want a peanut butter muffin or something, make sure when you grab the jar, you look all around to make sure it doesn't say Ember written with it on Sharpie on it, because you might get some and then you'd be like, this tastes a little has a little wang to it. That's why.
That's so crazy. I know there's a lot of dogs out there that do not like getting their nails trimmed at all. I will say our dog, Jack, is so laid back with it. You'll put him on his back, he'll lay in between your legs. He's he's at the spa. His eyes will be closed, he'll fall asleep sometimes. It's just unreal. So for you to have to go through all of that, I couldn't even imagine.
It's so painful. It's awful.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going gas this week again. I don't know if I've been spending too much time on TikTok or what, but I know last week I said about the Griffin brothers. I now realize they do classes and stuff too to teach people how to roller skate. So if they come to the East Coast, we might have to venture out there, Trent. But the ones I'm going gas on this week is the flashbacks of the Randy Savage promos on TikTok. Did you ever see those? Where he's getting interviewed there,
yep,
and he's talking about the cream rises to the top. I can't even do his voice because then I'll start laughing. But they are just so funny. They are hilarious, and I got into a binge there where literally every other video was just like a video of Randy Savage, just like doing his promos on professional wrestling back in the day. And he's got like the headband, he's got the glasses, he's got like the wraps on his wrists. I mean, profusely sweating. I mean, it's just great. Like if there is a half hour or an hour compilation video of these promos on YouTube, and there's one view on that video, I will be that one view. I'm to the point now where I could watch his promos or his interviews for hours. They're just golden. Yeah, if you haven't seen him, you have to watch him sometime. Have to.
It's a good change in pace of like some of the TikToks you see, because it's something completely different, but it's just hilarious.
Oh, they're so good, dude. I don't even know if I have a favorite one. I mean, the cream rising to the top where he's pulling creamers out of thin air and just like tossing them. That one is so good. But there's so many good ones out there. It'd be hard to pick, but I don't know. That's my gas for the week, Trent.
But yeah, so last week we did our second ever blind ranking, which is a little bit different than the blind draft, and we did travel destinations, and that's where I gave you Chernobyl. And some of our viewers, I don't think, knew what Chernobyl was because my wife voted for you, Jake. She said, I voted for Jake. I said, do you want to go to Chernobyl? She goes, yeah, where's that at? Honey, you're supposed to know before you vote. But anywho, haha, honey, your vote didn't really matter because I won 57% to 43%.
And honestly, I am very surprised I got that much vote because I got absolutely torched in the messages last week. One, because I didn't know what Chernobyl was at first. But secondly, people were telling me I was way too soft on you.
You got to cut for it, man. I told you.
Be prepared, Trent. I am ramping it up to 10, the next blind ranking. I don't know when it'll be or when we'll do it or what the topic will be, but needless to say, the gloves will be off. Completely.
That's what we need. We need a pissed off Kinzer for the next blind ranking.
I will be ruthless. I will leave you questioning whether or not you want to do one ever again after that one.
That's what I need. Oh, it'll be so good. But now I'm at 16 wins. Jake's 11. We have 3 ties, and the special guests have 2. So this week we're going to go back to our typical blind draft where we each pick our own 5. And this week our topic is superpowers. So, as a kid, you're, wishing you had a superpower. Which 5 superpowers are going to be at the top of your list?
Yeah, I'm fired up about this one.
So, I think I'm flipping this week.
I think you are, yeah. I think I did last week. Yep.
Just last week you were having issues with your phone was dying and Siri not working. And
oh, that's right. So I had to use Google, and it was just a heck of a mess. You're right. The struggle was real.
So I know what you're going to go with, but what's your call?
I'm going to do a different one. I've always gone heads. I'm going to go tails this week.
Flip a coin.
It's tails.
Dude, you are a magician.
Man, I'm just working the system, baby.
Jeez,
so
Lord.
I'm going number 1 right out the gates. I'm going to go with the ability to fly.
Okay. That's a good one. I'm going to go with teleportation.
Oh, that would actually be good.
Like, I wouldn't need a car, need to spend money on insurance or gas. I can just teleport here, there, everywhere. Don't got to factor in travel time. Bang. Just there.
I love it. So I'm going to go with, for the number 2, I'm going to go with the ability to breathe underwater.
Okay.
Because I remember growing up, and sometimes I just have these random dreams where I can breathe underwater, and I think it seems pretty cool. So it'd be pretty neat to do that.
All right. I think number 2, I'm going to go invisibility.
Oh, man, that's going to be my next one.
Because I would be so good at hide and go seek. I can just imagine playing with my kid when he gets older, and I can just poof, gone.
disappear.
Yeah, it'd be so good. And I'd just be laughing at them while I'm invisible.
It's a good pick. Good pick. Number 3, I'm going to go with X-ray vision.
Okay.
So I could see like through walls. I mean, can you imagine how amazing that would be during hunting season? You could literally see where the deer are and where they're coming.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Or fishing even. I mean, I'm going to go with that.
I think number 3. I'm gonna go with super strength.
Good one. Okay. So for mine, I am going to go with. Boy, this is tough. I have a couple different options I want to go here, but I'm not sure which one I should pull first. I'm going to go with. I don't know how to describe it because, in the Star Wars world, it's using the Force. But you know what I mean, like where you can literally just move objects with your mind.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. Yes. Yep.
Okay, that was gonna be my next one. All right, Jake. Well, with that, I'm gonna lock up omniscience. So that's where you know everything. You know everything, past, future, present. Let me look up the definition.
Never even heard of that before. I'm learning something new every week with Trent.
Omniscience is the quality of having infinite, perfect, and complete knowledge of everything past, present, and future. So, I know that, say I would be like, oh, this stock is going to go crazy, and I can put all of my life savings on it, and then I'm like, I'm rich. Or I can bet on whatever team to win the Super Bowl 5 years in advance, and I'm going to win a lot of money. Or I know I'm going to possibly get hit by a car. I'm not going to go that route kind of deal. So,
I like
omniscience. Yes, sir.
I never even knew that was an actual word. So, yeah, that's a different one there. I'm learning something new every week with you, Trent. I swear, like, if we had like a Jake Learns session, it could start here the last couple weeks because every week you're teaching me something new.
You're bringing something out of the pocket, Jake.
Yeah. Let's see here. My last one, I feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to decide here. I got a couple different options that I think would be kind of different, unique. I don't know if this kind of relates, but like, or even if you'd really consider this a superpower, but like the ability to remember everything.
Yeah, I forget what that.
Like have a photographic memory. Here, I'll do a quick Google search too.
The ability to remember everything is a rare condition called hyperthymesia.
Okay, hyperthymesia.
Yeah, I think instead of putting that, we're just going to say infinite memory.
I like that. Because I tell you what, I know people's faces, but I am absolutely awful with names. And with what I do with my job, and just even in life, if I could remember names, places, how to get somewhere, man, it would be amazing.
Oh, yeah. And number 5, Jake, I'm going shape-shifting.
Ah, that would be cool. Okay. Yeah, great choice.
So, my number 1 was teleporting, 2, invisibility, 3, super strength, 4, omniscience, and 5, shape-shifting.
Okay. And my number 1 was flying, 2, underwater breathing, 3, X-ray vision, 4, telekinesis, and 5, infinite memory, we said.
There we go.
So, I don't know. That's a solid one. I don't know. There were some that you picked that were on my list. So I'll be curious to see how this one shakes out. I feel like we got 2 solid lists.
The people will speak.
And I'm down bad, dude. I need a win. I need a win in the worst kind of way. I think you're on like a 3-week win streak at this point.
Or, yeah, I mean...
Maybe even 4.
Yeah, there was one week where you came back the one behind me. You were on heater, and then it just went. I think after we had the last special guest on, after that, I don't think you've won one since.
I haven't. I think we need to get another special guest on here soon so we can flip the script again. Get me running in the right direction.
So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be the fourth one in a row.
Oh, that's bad. That's so bad. Oh, I don't know. Well, folks, you know the drill. This Tuesday, make sure you cast your votes out there. Let us know who you think won this blind draft, because I'm feeling good about my list and I need to win real bad. So I'm not afraid to admit, I'll beg this week. Please vote for me in the blind draft, please.
Because it would be 5 in a row, but the fourth 4 ago we tied. So
that's right. Yeah, I'm in a bad mess right now in the blind draft. I need a win, so I'm gonna beg. Please vote for me come Tuesday. But all in all, yeah, this wraps up another episode here, Trent. Another one that I just felt like we didn't have much on the slate, but boy, we filled out the time pretty quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. About before every episode, we're like, do we have enough? And we're like, yeah, we'll make it work. And before we know it, we look up and we're an hour in. And it's funny because like we'll get to like the gas and brakes, and we're like, oh crap, we only have like 30 or 35 minutes, and we fill 20 to 30 minutes pretty quick with those 2 segments. So,
well, first of all, I got to apologize too to the folks. Last week I was fighting a little bit with the system that we create a lot of content on and stuff, so there isn't a whole lot out there from this past week. We'll try and get some of that out this week. I'm working through it right now. We'll get some more content out this week so you can enjoy some of these clips and stuff if you're not watching us on YouTube. But all in all, I feel like another good episode, Trent. Another one in the books. Tell us, folks, again, what you want to see, what you want to hear. Like Trent said, we're getting near the end of football season, so we're going to need some new material. But you know what that means, Trent?
Content.
Content and golf season is right around the corner, baby.
That's right.
Oh, man. Well, okay. Another week. Another Jake break in the books. Trent, anything else to add before we close things out for the week?
I don't think so. I'm going to keep chugging my orange juice, try to pump my veins full of vitamin C so I don't get sick, and, have a good one.
Absolutely. Well, if you're not better till next week, maybe we'll have an impromptu guest, because I don't think people want to hear me going flying solo. But we'll play it by ear. Hope you feel better. And anyone else that's getting in all this sickness and stuff, stay strong, smash that vitamin C, and if you are sick, be sure to check us out on YouTube. Watch every single episode while you're down laying in bed for the week. So have a great week. We'll see you next time.